Okay, now we're going to do a 1-point perspective landscape. Keep it simple, just do a few houses and a road. I'm going to put the horizon line quite high, at least higher than the middle of the page. Vanishing point around about the middle. So I've got the horizon line and I've got the vanishing point. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to define the space. So I'm going to put myself a road, and as we've discussed, everything appears to get smaller as it goes into the distance. That is my simple road. I'd like you to draw that. Okay, and then starting at the front, you're going to create a square or rectangle, which depends what you want to do. I'm doing a 5 by 4 rectangle on the right hand side, and I'm going to do something similar on the left hand side, but I'm going to make it a little bit lower. It doesn't have to be in the same size, it doesn't have to be the same thing. I'm doing a 5, this time I'm doing a 5 by 6 rectangle. Okay, so you have 2 rectangles sitting on either side of the triangle, which represents the roads. These are going to be the houses, roads. Okay, you then join, like you've done before, the angles that you can see directly to the vanishing point, or the corners that can see directly to the vanishing point on one side, and do the same on the other side. I'm not doing these ones here because these are not hollow boxes, these are buildings. Okay, now I'm going to give a pitch roof on one of these. So to do that, you need to find the middle of this front face, the front face of the rectangle. Okay, to do that, you do it across in the middle of the face, and then you draw a vertical line through that cross, from bottom to top of that front face. You continue it as long as you want that your roof as high as you want your roof to be. So I'm going to put my roof up there. That is the pitch, the top of the roof line. Okay, I'm going to join that to the vanishing point. And then I'm going to do my pitched roof. This is what's called a pitched roof because it's got an angle on it, not a flat roof, which is over here. Okay, I'm taking my pitch further than the edge of the building. I'm going to do the same here. I'm taking it further than the edge of the building, same length on each side. Okay, and then at the bottom of that pitch, I'm going to draw to the vanishing point. Okay, now I don't think I can do it directly from here, but I'll have a look. I can. So you've got the underside, just there is the underside of your pitch roof. Okay, now to get the end of this, you now need to create your box. Should have done that before actually. I'll do that now. Okay, there. And across here like that. That is the back side of this box. Okay, so you know that your pitch has to go parallel to that one between those two lines. So you now have a pitched roof. I'm going to make that thicker, more solid. On top of your building. Okay, to be honest, I'm going to put a pitch roof on this one as well. So to go through the process the way it should be, okay, you go across, you create your parallel lines. That is parallel with that. You go across, create your parallel lines. That is parallel to that. Now again, you cross over in the front face of your 1-point perspective box, and you create a vertical line that runs parallel with the two side lines. Okay, I then do the same as I did before. Cross there like that. I do my pitch. Okay, making sure that this one, see just about, I can see a just tiny little bit of the underside of that one. Very important to have those because it creates reality or realism. And then you need to drag across so it lies on that corner bit here, not try and work out here where this parallel line runs on the corner of that box there. Okay, and then you solidify, you make stronger the lines there. Then you need to erase some of these lines to create the reality, to create the idea of this being solid. So I'm erasing that one there. I'm erasing the back line of this. So this is why you try to make them as light as possible. And then I can get rid of these lines on the front here. I'm going to leave the lines on this one on the left hand side, and you should do the same so you understand how you got your pitch roof. And then I'm going to get rid of these extra lines on the end here. You can get rid of those on both sides. That's important to do that. So I'm going to leave this all the information there, but I'm erasing the extra lines on that side there. Okay, so you now have two freestanding houses within the space. Okay, I'm going to do a couple more so you can see how they sit behind these. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one here. I'm going to use this line here, actually the base of that building there. I'm going to use that line there where my building starts from. Okay, so I'm going to go up like that. I'm going to go quite tall actually. I'm going to go across as far as I want. Remember, these are my buildings, I don't mind. So this is going to be 3 centimeters across there like that. And then I'm going to drop it vertically down. Now of course you won't see the bottom of this because it goes through the building. And this one of course comes across like this horizontally. So you've got this rectangle appearing here, but you don't see this corner of the rectangle. You don't need to see the corner of that corner of the rectangle. Okay, and then again, join those to the vanishing point. And work out where you want the end of that building to be. Remember, parallel. There must be parallel lines. Between each diagonal must be parallel lines. Okay, so you've got another building there. I'm going to do the same on this side. Again, I'm using this because this is a step away from the road. I'm going to use that. I'm going to do here. And this one, I'm going to go above the horizon line. Okay, going above the horizon line, which changes the angle. So that's going to be 4 by, what do I do? 8. Okay, and then again, you come across here. Can't see beyond there because it must be horizontal, parallel to that top one. But it disappears behind this building, and this one comes down like this. Okay, and then again, you do your diagonal lines to the vanishing point. Okay, but you can't do this one because it comes through the building. So you basically do 2 diagonal lines, and that creates that building. Obviously, the building crosses the horizon line, so the horizon line needs to disappear. And then you can get rid of those diagonals to the vanishing point. And you can strengthen up these lines. Okay, so you've now got 2 buildings with pitch and 2 flat roof ones. Okay, now we're going to look at windows. Right, windows in the front, obviously easy. They're going to be the same shape. They're going to be squares. Okay, but I'm going to do a couple of big ones here just to show you. On the front of this one, I'm going to do a really big one, like a picture window, 2 by 3. That's 2 centimeters by 3 centimeters. And then to make that feel like it's going inside the building, from this corner here, I'm going to go in like this, and then I'm going to create the thickness of the wall by putting that in like that. And that creates that side. Exactly the same thing. I am actually going to do it on this one here, but it's going to be quite different because that's going to be, again, 2 by 3. Yep. But in this case, you're going to have this one coming from this corner, like that, and this one coming from this corner, like that. And then you make a decision as to how thick your walls will be. And remember, that is parallel with that one. And this one comes from there to there. It needs to be parallel with that bottom line. And this one needs to be parallel with that top line. And you end up with windows that look fairly strong and realistic. Okay, now windows on the side of the building. I'm going to do a window here, so it's parallel with that. Okay, and the same way here, it's parallel with this line here, so I'm just going to do like that. Top and bottom of that line goes vanishing point. Top and bottom of that line, the vanishing point. See, that's going to the vanishing point, and that's going to the vanishing point. All right. Then you make a decision as to where you're going to be putting the end of that. So that is the size of the window. Yeah. Now this now needs to feel like it's going inside again, like this one. So come in a little bit like that with a horizontal. Like that. And then this goes with the vanishing point. That line is going to the vanishing point. This line is just a vertical matching this, and this is just a horizontal. Okay, matching that one. Alright, so that gives you a window. I'll do the same on this side because it's slightly different. Top and bottom of that vertical to the vanishing point, and make a decision as to how wide it's going to be. Put it like that. And then again, horizontal from this furthest corner, and then a vertical, the one's parallel with there, and a diagonal that goes towards the vanishing point. Okay, so you've got two windows working well there. Now doorways. Okay, again, your first line needs to be parallel with whatever vertical it's nearest. So look, that line there is parallel with this line here. Top of that line goes towards the vanishing point. Why am I not bothering to the bottom line? Because it's already there with the bottom of the building. Okay, I then do that, and I now have a doorway. Now, I quite like doorways that are open. So to do that, very simple, you just put a line in like that, and that doorway is now open. Okay, so this door is either open that way, or if you want to thin up the wall, you just do that and raise that section there. Okay, in fact I might do that because that is the thickness of that wall. If I erase that, I'm going to get rid of that line down there. That is now an open doorway into that building. Okay, I actually don't like that very much, so I'm going to do another one over here and just leave it the way it was. So again, I want to make a decision how big the doorway is going to be, but this line must be parallel with the nearest vertical. Diagonal line, another vertical, this one's parallel with this one, and that's quite a big doorway on that building. And then I go straight in with a horizontal which matches the horizon line, like that. It's like a garage going into that building. Okay, and these are alleyways that go between the buildings. Alright, now, lamp posts. Okay, it's fairly simple what we're doing here. I'm teaching the basics. Okay, so we've got lamp posts, yeah? Now, lamp posts, this is the road. Let's give this a bit of a pavement area, so I'm just going to give that, and do this one like that. So we've got pavement area. Now what I want you to do is put some verticals that run along there. I'm just doing it freehand, but you'll notice they're getting closer together until they blend into one as it comes up there. The same here, vertical, quite a distance, and they gradually get closer and closer together as they disappear off, and then they disappear. Right? So we're down the middle of the road. I'll get to lampposts in a second. Down the middle of the road, you need to create your lines. Okay, that run down the middle of the road. So you create this tiny little triangle, everything coming from the vanishing point. The vanishing point is your central thing. Every diagonal in a one-point perspective drawing comes from a vanishing point, or the vanishing point. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do horizontals now. I'm going to start at the bottom here. There, that's my first horizontal. Okay, so that's my first white section. I then come up here and I make a decision as to how wide that's going to be. And each time they're going to get slightly smaller. Okay, the gap between will get smaller, and the height of the white line will get smaller. Okay, until they just sort of almost blend into one. So what will happen is I'll erase that section and that section and that section in there. You see how they're getting gradually smaller as they go down. So I'm going to carry on doing that a little bit. So I'll do that freehand now because I need to be able to see the distance. So it's there, 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 and then eventually they're just going to blend into one. Okay, I'm going to erase these lines in between here. So I'll end up with gradually smaller and smaller and smaller rectangles. See, and that gives this idea of depth into the plane. Okay, I've probably done that a little bit too quick. I'd go a bit slower if I was to do this again. Right, so you need lamp posts or lighting. All right, now I'm going to use a different colour pencil for this because this is a little bit. Well, I might even use a pen for this. I think I'm going to use a sort of pink pencil. Just make it stand out. Just take this sharpens well. Yes, it does. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by making my decisions where I'm going to put my first lamppost. You're going to go across the same place. Hope you see that pink. Hope so. Okay, and then I'm going to go straight up, quite high because lampposts are quite high in the street, normally above roof level on small buildings. Okay, so I'm going up there like that, doing the same on here. Make sure they get to the same height, because this first one is the most important one, getting it right. Okay, so hopefully that's the same height. No, it's a little bit too short. There, that's better. Okay, and then I'm going to come across like that, and then I'm going to drop down. I'm going to keep this quite simple. I'm going to do this very simply. I'm just going to have them like this, like that. Okay, so you now have your two starting points. All right. Then you go vanishing point, vanishing point, vanishing point, and vanishing point. So you've got your 4 points that you need. That one, top right, top left, a little bit lower on that one, and then the bottom left. Okay, on that one. And this one you need top left, top right, bottom, and then like that. Okay, this gives you the lines that you need. So I now make a decision. Okay, I'm going to have them. Remember, they get close together as you come down. So I'm going to have the next one is going to be here. Remember, parallel. It has to be equal on both sides. So I'm just going to give that like that. And the next one, I'm going to make sure I'm going to just make it a little bit closer there. A little bit. Yeah, that's fine. Cross that like that. And then I go down further. Again, a bit closer. And we'll just do 4, okay, in this particular exercise. Right, so this one here, it comes up vertically to that top line here. This one here comes up vertically, oh, almost there, to that top line there, okay. And then again, you come across, but you come across to, you look at your lines, you come across to that first one, like that, and you come across to that first one, like that, and then you drop down, and then you can make your decision. I mean, to be honest, to make sure you got exactly the same size, you should do this one and this one as well. Okay, so that gives you an idea of how wide each one of these lamps is going to be. So it comes down to there, comes across like that. Okay, so that's your next one. They're getting smaller as they go down. Next one here comes up to there. Remember, look at it's going behind that first, like that lamppost, like that. Up to that top line there. Up to this line here. Remember, the furthest one on the right, outside. Furthest one on the outside. Okay, and then again, you go across to the second line in, across the second line in, and then you drop down from the first line in and across, drop down there, drop down here and across, and that's your third lamp post. These are all perspectively correct. And the last one, really you can just do one line up from there because it's getting so far away. And then again you come across 1, 2, 1, 2, and then across like that. And so you now have perspectively correct lampposts in a 1-point perspective landscape with road markings and buildings. Okay. If you get stuck with this, come back and have a look how I've done it. Remember, every diagonal goes towards the vanishing point, and the only ones that don't are either horizontal or verticals. Enjoy, have some fun, make some buildings.